Friend, should I get a chihuahua? Like
And they
100%.
could be friends because he only likes chihuahuas and then he starts humping them because he's like so excited to have a friend, I think. But because it's not like he's humping them like sexually, it's like he's next to them just being like happy. It's very bizarre.
This is the thing about chihuahuas that's so great. They're just like they're horny and they yap. Like, what's cooler than that? What's better than that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
he's
what do
already
you
in
like
your
more
he's
than
already
being horny and yapping? Like,
I know. All right. Let me smooth this some out. The studio is so cute. My question.
mhm.
Biggest fear, I'll have like 20 minutes and I'll be like,
I feel like we'll just be go.
no, that's always how it goes. That's why I say like, the questions are like, so I'll do a little intro. So it's the single mom of two living in Manhattan. Advice from a single mom of two living in Manhattan.
Advice from a single mom of two living in Manhattan as fuck.
Hey,
Yeah.
so we're gonna get some advice today from a single mom of two living in Manhattan. How are you?
I'm so good. I'm chilling. Like this is my first like you know what it is? It's like when you have kids, those are my business hours. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I think like, I was on a royal tear for like 3 weeks, went to a bunch of places, like saw some good music, had some really good times. And then I buckled down with the kids and now I'm out,
Mm,
you know?
yeah.
So we took the black car. We drank it because
Ah,
there's no in it.
I
And
love
now
that.
we're chilling,
I love it.
as fuck.
I love that.
Yeah,
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being on. I
of
saw you on
course.
Instagram and I was like, hey, like one, she's about to be huge. Two, like I'm so intrigued because I think there's a lot of people in New York who like aren't doing it like how you're doing it. Like you're
Yeah.
just like, I'm a mom, I'm cool, I own a bar, I'm in the city, I'm in this like, like the nightlife. And like I really love seeing that because it's
Yeah.
kind of like the opposite of what I see in my daily life. So let's bring it back to like how you got to New York, how that all started for you.
Let's remember, like, all things start with choices. Like,
Hmm.
doing it is a choice.
Yeah.
So, picking the way that you do things, like, it's always going to be what you make it. So, I think I was lucky enough to kind of grow up in a way where I kind of realized there were actually no limits and no boundaries. So
Hmm.
that created like a space for me to like go very rogue. And like from that, it's gamified life in a way. I don't know. I've been through some shit.
Yeah.
And like, I don't have any regrets. Like, I learned some things.
Yeah.
And so now I'm here. So back to that, getting into nightlife was like kind of a wild thing. I went to Parsons. I studied fashion design.
Okay.
That's also why we're here.
Yeah.
Fashion
A lot of
tea.
us. Yeah.
So clothes, love it, obsessed with it, but it wasn't paying the bills. Like fashion is a really crazy industry where, it's goated, it's clouded, but like only the strong survive. And
Hmm.
influencers have really changed that dynamic because they're not creating anymore,
Hmm.
they're displaying. And that didn't exist when I was a young fashion girly in the who just towed into nightlife. I got my fake ID on Canal Street when I was like 14 years old. I brought that shit back to Miami and I was like, the
Amazing.
club is where I belong. I was going out in Miami, like just ripping it till 4 a.m. and then going back to high school. And partying, being social has always been like fun. And it's always been something that I really enjoyed. I love a distraction. Like I chase dopamine. I love making things so fun at all times.
Yeah.
But it's like what got me into nightlife was self-preservation. We're living in New York. The rent is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Back then, I was living on 10th and Avenue A when it was like pretty much the cut. It
Yeah.
was before everybody started living in Brooklyn. And like, you got to make ends meet and you got to
Hmm.
pay for your habits.
Yeah.
So when I was making 35 to 50K a year working as a designer, I was
Hmm.
like, the math is not math.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine, I mentioned it on my TikTok. A friend of mine, like, kind of was like, hey, I'm going to France for like 4 months, like, take over my wine bar. And I was like, the fuck? Like,
Okay.
how can I do this? I knew nothing about service, nothing about nightlife.
Hmm.
All I knew was if I went to Crocodile Lounge, I could buy as well.
Yeah. Get a pizza.
Because it was expensive.
Yeah.
I knew that if I went to Black and White, I would pretty much drink for free and be able to do my homework at the same time,
Yeah.
underage. So like, it's The times have definitely changed, but what got me into nightlife was the necessity to survive and also enjoy my life at the same time. And now being a mom, I look at it and I'm like, if your child or if anybody in your life hasn't experienced the service industry, they're not real.
Oh my God, no, I feel the same way because
Yeah.
now I'm like transitioning. I was in design and now I'm in sales, which is like bartending. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's funny because I work for a factory and I literally every day I'm like, oh, I'm the server and the factory's the annoying kitchen with like the shitty line cook that's like always yelling at you. You know what I mean?
100%.
Sorry, everyone. I love them, but they're
No,
always
we
like
all love a
so
line.
mad.
Laugh.
Yeah, but you're like the one that's like, that has to deal with the customer and they're mad at you if
Yeah.
like the things are wrong. So it's like literally so much like the service industry. And it's
Yeah.
like, I agree, like everyone should have like a service job at least like once in their life.
100%. It changes your character. It
Yeah.
teaches respect. There's like a manners thing that you'll never understand.
Mm.
And like city kids, especially city boys, like they've lost sight of like politeness. So
Mhm.
going into service industry and like getting to know people and being pushed into these situations,
Yeah.
they're like, there's garnish on my chicken and I'm allergic.
Yeah.
Like, come on. You know, nothing teaches you how to like grow up, prevail, and not stress out
Yeah.
faster than the industry. And I don't know. So I took over this wine bar,
Mhm.
made it pop off. Manager at the time, no, a friend of mine introduced me to the manager of the cabin down below and was like, "Oh, you should work there." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
But again, I didn't know how to bartend. I was pouring wine and being a salesperson, like you just said.
Mhm.
And like being in sales is one thing and one thing only. Hey, I'm hot. Do you want to be hot too? Do you know what it? Do you want
Yeah.
to look like me? Like
Yeah.
I can help you.
Yeah.
You know? So that's what I was doing. I was like hustling wine. The music was right. I've always had really good taste in that, but it was cringe taste at the time. Like I
Mhm.
knew nothing about rock and roll, nothing about like really good core music
Mhm.
until I started working at the cabin. Yeah, I started working there, zero bartending experience, and like
Mhm.
us bartenders, girlies. No, you're not surviving, you're not thriving, you're not selling if you don't know how to make a fucking margarita.
Yeah.
So I had to like teach myself and learn fast.
Yeah.
Like I remember my bar back knew more
Yeah.
about bartending than I did.
Mhm.
And I felt bad because I was like, "Oh, you should be the
Yeah.
bartender." But then I was
You're
like,
like,
"But
I'm
you're
making so much more money.
making so much more money." But I was like, "But you're not hot."
Yeah. Fair.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like you're just a guy. I'm sorry.
Really nice guy.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm still friends with that bar back.
I love my bar backs. Like when they're good, they're like, they're your boy.
Nothing hits harder than a bar back.
Yeah.
Nothing hits harder than a good hot bar back.
Yes. Yes. Cause
Yeah.
then they're like, you know, flirting with they like warm up the customer and then like you come in and then like make the kill. You know?
Exactly. You make the
So funny.
it was that deal. And then, you know, when you want to go smoke a cigarette or do whatever, they got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good bar back that doesn't like complain about like dumb shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah.
like, I will tip you out more than 1% every single time.
Every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And
Right.
they're so loyal.
I know.
Like, nobody talks about the loyalty of a bar back.
Yeah.
Having a good bar back is like having a good boyfriend.
Yeah.
You know, it's rare
Yeah.
and you can't live without that. You know?
No, like they'll be like, "What'd you say?" You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like if someone
100%.
like comes up to
They're like,
you.
"You're not talking to my girl like
Yeah.
that." Exactly. What did he say? Goodbye. Get out
Yeah.
of here.
Oh
But
my God.
also, what's funny is the evolution from like the barbacks treating us like that and
Mhm.
idolizing us, and then the patrons start
Yeah.
doing the same thing
Yeah.
because they're like, "Did you just s-
Like
tip my
correct the
girl?
yeah, yeah.
Like, get out of here."
Yeah,
Yeah.
leave another dollar. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Do
it's funny because
something.
we have dancers on the bar where I work.
Uh,
So the girls will be like, "You didn't tip good enough." You know what I mean? It's like
Those girls, the
Yeah.
dancers, they get it.
yeah, or
Like,
I'll be like, "You need to leave a dollar. You've been looking for too long." You know, like
that's a thing. And I really think that dynamic, like the
Mhm.
power play, is like the fastest way to make money fast.
Oh my God.
You know?
Yeah.
It all comes down to that. Like when I was at the cabin, I started this wild thing. Like
Mhm.
I didn't even know what I was doing,
Mhm.
but one of my regulars tipped me $100 and the guy next saw him and did it
Yeah.
to try to match him. And I created like the $100 tip.
Amazing.
Like I was leaving with more money than the bar was making. Let's
Yeah.
say the bar made $3,000, I would make at least 3,500.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But
Wow.
the days were different. The money was different.
It was cash flow back then too.
Cash flow.
Yeah.
Every day we were leaving with cash. You know, now it's different. It's like credit card tips, taxes.
Yeah, and it takes out, like, I feel bad because whenever I do it, it's, like, almost, like, $4 in, like, fees and everything, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Ugh, that would've been my tip."
A
You know what I mean?
100%. And it's so the times have totally changed, and, like, opening this bar that I opened really showed it to me because
Mhm,
I think COVID had really taken away that dynamic of going out, getting fucked up. You know, people are using sprays and,
mhm.
fucking K and, drugs that don't really facilitate that much drinking. So
Um,
now people just go to bars, they hang out in bars, and they're not like getting fucked up like they used to.
yeah,
Like in my day, drinking was where it started. The
yeah,
drugs were what perpetuated the drinking.
yeah,
Now
yeah.
it's almost the reverse.
Yeah, and especially now with, like, the non-alcoholic stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
people will still buy if you get someone to buy a $14 non-alcoholic, like, Negroni, then, like, okay, sure, that's, like, still good, than,
Yeah,
like, a
but are
soda water.
drinking 10 of them? That's too full.
Yeah,
You're getting too full.
yeah, yeah.
Bring back the days of drinking 6 vodka Red Bulls.
It's funny. I was pouring a lot of those last night,
Like, why do
actually.
you have to elevate vodka Red Bull to espresso martini? Drinking culture needs to go back.
Yeah, to, like, just straight up, like, fuel, like
You're in a shot. Like,
yeah.
we're hydrating,
Yeah, I
you
know,
know?
that's kinda crazy. Alright, you're at the bar, you've kind of, like, branded yourself
Yeah.
as this, like, $100 tip zone, and you're making more money. So, like, what was that transition between, like,
Yeah.
bartending to, like, owning? Because that's sometimes, like,
Yeah.
people.
So I was really lucky. I basically was put on by 2 really important men in my life. And I've been with them since I started working at the cabin. They owned the cabin and they own Johnny, the project that I just finished working on. And they had their kind of feet on the ground as far as like music and culture. So they
Mhm,
really brought a super elite touch.
mhm,
It was the first list only, no photos place in the United States, like bar
mm.
none. It was super private, and the people that came were drinkers, and they were partiers. Like, I have celeb stories, like, I
Can you
should
tell
write
us
a
one?
fucking I should write a book.
Yeah, no, you should.
I don't know if I can tell you one. Okay. First celeb fight I got into,
Okay.
okay, was with so imagine what's the most famous rock band of all time,
Hmm,
let's say back to, like, 60s, 70s.
okay,
Child of said musician
okay.
went to this kitchen area because in the cabin we had like the main bar area and there was like this kitchen and sometimes we would smoke cigarettes in there. Obviously times were different, you know,
Yeah,
whatever. But no one was allowed to go in there unless you were like with an owner. And you could smell the cigarette smoke at the bar. So I always knew if people were smoking and I would always know when one of my bosses was in there because I would
yeah,
be on my toes.
uh,
Fuck. Because
yeah,
I knew my job was on the line every day. Like it wasn't a joke. Like working there was like the school of hard knocks and it was like completely polarizing. Like one time I served a drink to Noel Gallagher. He ordered a beer and a shot
mhm,
and in his like fly accent, he was like, "Hey love, like let me get like a whiskey and a beer or something. Like do you have Guinness?" Or and I was like, "No, we don't." And I just stood there like completely like, "What
yeah,
the fuck?
yeah,
Noel Gallagher
yeah,
just
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
asked me for something?"
And then you're like,
This
"Wait, what?"
and
Like
I stood there. I think I was like giving emoji face,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know. I
yeah.
was and so and one of my bosses looked at me and he was like, "Get it together or get out."
Oh, wow.
Like that was the
That was, like, when you
energy.
first started, you were kinda, like, a little
Yeah, like I was green as fuck. I didn't know who many like musicians were, many painters, artists, fashion designers. I was
mhm.
young. I was 22 or so.
Yeah,
Um, but that was the energy. It was like, "Can you do this tonight? Like,
yeah.
are you chill?" Because like I didn't know you were a loser.
And they,
So
like, caught it, like, quickly.
yeah, they were like, "Get it together or get the fuck out. Like,
Yeah,
can you do
yeah.
your job tonight? Because
Wow.
like, anybody would kill to be here, and the truth is
Yeah.
they would."
Well, also too, it's, like, places that, like,
Yeah.
have that kinda clientele, they wanna feel, like, normal in that
Yeah.
space. They don't wanna have, like, someone being like, "Can I get a photo?" You know what I mean? Like, not
100
that you would do that, but
that was the ethos of the space. It was like, you could be anyone. No matter how famous you were, you could blend in.
yeah.
It was like a self-respect zone. A lot of celebrities would run into each other, and it was just like a haven and a safe space for people to kind of do whatever they wanted
Mhm.
and like be themselves and not be judged or treated differently. And the
Mhm.
reason why they hired me truly, because like I didn't know who the fuck anyone was.
Yeah.
Like I was blind as fuck. I was just like some hot goth bitch, like
Yeah.
singing like mid hooch. So anyway, back to the story. So said Nepo baby was smoking in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I walked in and I had obviously no idea who he was because like let's keep in mind he's not famous, like his dad was famous,
Yeah.
you know? And I grabbed him by his fucking shirt and he was wearing like some set shirt and I was like, get the fuck out.
Mhm.
Because also we had no time for this back then. The rules were different.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, get the fuck out of the kitchen.
Mhm.
And he was like scared shitless.
Really,
But I've
yeah.
also, by that time when that happened, I had been through some shit with a lot of the celebs and clientele there.
Mhm.
So I was like, I don't have fucking time for this.
Yeah.
Like you're breaking the rules. And that was the thing about the cabin down below is like you don't break rules there.
Mm.
We're lenient, we're lax, you can do whatever you want, but
Yeah.
like you don't break the hard rule.
Yeah.
Nobody DJs, nobody played the music, nobody takes photos, you
Mm.
know, but like you could also like do whatever you wanted, you
Yeah,
know? I
for
grabbed
sure.
him by the shirt and I pulled him out. I was like, "You're done." And he was like, "You don't know who I am, blah, blah, blah," giving me that Nepo shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Look at me. Is this me caring?"
Mm.
Like, I was like,
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
gross. Like, me saying you don't know who like, any man who looks at you and is like, "You don't know who I am."
You're like, "Gross."
Literally. So I grabbed him, I kicked him out, and the door person at at the time, he was very iconic music industry OG. He was like, let him back in because he like sweet talked him. Obviously,
Mhm.
he did have some clout to get back in, and he walked into me and apologized.
Good.
But his apology completely like gaslit the way his dad passed. And I was like, okay, so this isn't about you.
Yeah.
Like you just apologized to me but didn't say sorry.
Yeah.
You blamed the way that you acted, like your privilege, the fact that you came from a situation,
Mhm.
also gross.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things. I don't know. It was crazy. It was like every night was a different thing, and also like protecting these people as well was part of my job. So it's
Yeah.
like not letting paparazzi get in and that was a crazy job.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I stayed very close to the people who owned that bar, and I ended up opening a club called Berlin, which is an underground rock and roll venue. So
Mhm.
it was supposed to be the music venue equivalent to the cabin-ish. And it was cool. Like, it was unbelievable. That place was slammed every night. It was
Mhm.
making fuck tons of money. I was debuting the best bands, the best
Mhm.
talents.
My band played there, like, forever ago.
Oh my God, shut up. What
Yeah.
year?
Oh god, what year was that? It was pre-COVID, like, I don't even know. 19 maybe? Yeah, I was a drummer of a metal band. It was yeah, 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 but it was fun, yeah, it was a cool spot.
It's such a cool spot. The
Yeah.
acoustics are incredible. The
Mhm.
space is haunted. Like, it has
Oh, really? Yeah.
ghosts in there.
Okay.
So yeah, I opened that in 2015 and we had a deal with Burger Records at that time
Mhm.
before they got canceled, which was hot.
Mhm.
All the bands were hot. You know, nothing's hotter than like a cute rock band, like
Mhm.
whether it's a girl or a guy. And we perpetuated like that energy. We
Mhm.
also had major bands play, like Green Day played there all the time. White played there, but it was a vibe. So I did that. Then I kind of got burnt out,
Yeah.
you know, moved to LA, bought a house, and had a few kids, got locked into a relationship because
Mhm.
COVID will do it,
Okay.
but COVID will also end it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So then I wanted a way to come back to New York. And, you know, I had to repent my sins, call my old partners, and they were like, come open a bar. I said,
Okay.
say less.
Yeah.
So I brought my kids back, opened this bar. The bar is thriving. And I got it to a place where, you know, they can kind of do whatever they want and I can go back to being a mom and like
Mhm.
put my kids in
Yeah.
school.
I love that. That's kind of
Yeah.
ideal. It's like, I'm like in that in between world where I'm like, there's a lot of freedom that comes with like bartending and working in the service industry. And then like, I was in school and then graduated and now I'm like in a 9 to 5 and I'm just like, my God, like my whole life is like being taken up
Yeah.
by something and doing all this stuff on top of it. And I'm just like, okay, like I'm 34. I want to have kids at some point, but like, I don't want to be like in a 9 to 5. You know
No,
what I
fuck
mean?
but
Yeah.
also don't rush. It'll
Yeah.
change you, it'll break you,
Mhm.
it just puts you into a place that you never thought you'd be, and, like, this comes from a mom who, like, my kids are angels. Like,
Mhm.
they're the fucking best, like,
Yeah.
truly, and everyone says it too, the best behaved, like, Dash, my son, he's 5, he's turning 6 in October, we're gonna throw a rager, you'll come. Yeah, we always do parties at bars and gallery spaces, like,
Oh,
it's hot.
cool,
Yeah.
cool.
So, but he won an award for being best behaved, and I was like,
That's great.
"What?" That was
Like,
embarrassing me.
eh
"What are you doing?" But from somebody who really puts the most into their kids and their family, like, I'll say, A, having kids is optional,
Mhm.
but B, like, wait as long as possible because your life as a
Yeah.
single entity is so precious,
Yeah.
and you can kind of always do it eventually-ish.
Mhm.
Like, I feel way too young personally to have a 3-year-old and an almost 6-year-old.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? I have them, and now I'm done with that.
Yeah, because there's, like, a time period where you kinda have to be, like, really on top of it because 'cause they're so little.
But I will say the freedom of not having a 9 to 5 and having kids is hot.
Yeah.
So
Well,
hot.
it's like, that sucks. Like, I even feel
Yeah.
bad for, like, Charlie. Like, I come
Yeah,
home and
Charlie
I'm
needs you,
like
babe.
I know, and, like, but, it's like it's just this, like and I think a lot of, like, Gen Z, a lot of younger people too are like, "This is, like, bullshit," because a lot of them are coming back from, like they started their jobs at COVID when they're
Yeah.
remote, so they're like, "What? Like, this sucks," you know?
100%.
So
Look, some people wanna go to an office, they look
mhm,
forward to that camaraderie. I think it is nice to have an infrastructure, like, I will
mhm,
say school started, I'm not going to the club as much, I'm not even going out as much,
mhm,
and sometimes I feel like, "Oh, I'm missing out, I miss my friends and blah, 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 I'm not running into as many people."
mm,
So I get it, like, there's a reason why offices work,
mhm,
especially when you're in the 9 to 5 space, but if you have the luxury and the ability to be able to, like, call your own shots, I'd say go off all day. Unmatched. And also, there's no rules.
mhm,
Like, again, that's how I was raised. There were no rules. I grew up around people who literally got paid tons of money to not have rules.
mhm.
And I saw that.
Yeah,
Like, the limits are only what you still,
yeah.
right?
No, for
Like, let's
sure.
be safe, but like, also,
Well, yeah, and it's like
you
we're
know,
kinda challenging, like, a lot of I think, like, people in general, like, especially younger people are trying to challenge, like, the norms in a lot of ways.
100%.
And, I even find myself being like, because 'cause I'm 34, so I'm, like,
Mhm.
millennial, and, like, all my friends who are 34, I see them and none of them are like, they're just doing, like, the regular thing, and I'm like, "Well, what do you wanna do?" And they're like, "Oh, well, I can't do that, I can't do this, and da da da," and, like, this mindset, and I'm just, like, really confused. Like, what would you tell someone who, like, wants to do something, but they're, like, kinda trapped in, like, a mindset?
That's hard.
Mm.
So listen, I think there's a couple things to like what makes you you. A, you're born a certain way for sure. Being gay can be a choice, but I also think that you're also born that way.
Mm.
So like that's just, facts, right? So you're
Mhm.
born a certain way. Also, you have the ability to make choices on top of the way that you were born. And I think that as a mom, I see it in my kids, right? And I see it in myself too. You have to realize that you can change. You can change. And you
Mhm.
have to give yourself the space and
Mhm.
luxury to see that and then do it.
Yeah.
But living in flux and, the middle zone, it'll force change, but you also have to know ultimately what you want. Like,
Mhm.
I believe highly in like writing lists or mental notes. Hey, I want to be a mom who's living this way, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter how you get there as long as you get there. And I think we need to remove the kind of pressure of failing, because
Yeah, for
failing
sure.
is just a shitty word for learning,
Yeah, or,
you
like,
know?
redirection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think my advice is like, don't be afraid,
Mhm.
first and foremost, but also just be hot. And like, it's not like just be hot,
Yeah, like,
but
what
it's
is
like,
it?
it's a mindset of kind of saying, I feel good about myself, therefore I can achieve more.
Mhm.
Because think about it, when we all feel good about ourselves, what do? We go out and get it.
Yeah.
So it's not even, it's never really a visual. It's like a state of mind, a state of being that's like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
And also, like I said, there's no fucking rules. If you want to wake up and start doing karate, like go off, queen.
Yeah.
Like who
Yeah.
cares?
No, I mean, honestly, like that's kind of, I mean, that's like the blessing of New York is like you kind of see people doing this all the time. And
Yeah.
I actually saw this video on TikTok recently, like this morning actually, about this girl who had just moved here. And she was talking about how she's like, I had such a limited mindset before I moved here, but now I just see people like going for this and doing that. And she's like, now she's like, my old journal entries used to be like me, like kind of complaining about life. And now I'm like, I look back and I'm like, oh, I've just been like, well, what about this? Maybe I can do that. Maybe, like, you know what I mean?
And
Yeah.
you won't know until you try it. And also, like, as somebody who is a mom and talking to somebody, like you said, you want kids one day,
Hmm.
what would you want for your kids? You
Yeah.
would want them to want to explore everything.
Oh,
You know
hell
what I
yeah.
mean? Get in trouble so you can
Yeah.
learn from it.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Like, you'll know when you fucked up and you'll feel bad about it. I don't need to discipline you when you
Yeah.
already feel bad,
Yeah. Like
And
the shame.
fuck, shame, like
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Mhm.
That's way worse than timeout.
Yeah.
So it's like, in order to live life without regrets, you need to have no fear, right? Like I grabbed those bullhorns and took a ride because I
Hmm.
knew what I was getting into. I learned from it. Was it great? No, because I chose to do it. So it's like the mindset of how you want to frame things and how you want to push the plot,
Hmm.
right? Because every day needs to be a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
And I think as long as you're taking baby steps or little leaps, taking the trash out, simple as that, you're killing it. Like
Yeah.
absolutely killing it.
No, and I think it's too, like, a lot of people think, like, oh, I'm gonna make a change and then I'm gonna see, like, crazy results. I'm gonna go viral. I'm gonna do this. And, like,
Yeah.
it's, as someone who's been doing, like, we can pivot to social media. It's like, it really is like a consistency, like, thing,
100%.
And I feel like I've learned the power of consistency by, like, making content.
Well, let's be honest, consistency is an exercise in trust.
True.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you really have to trust yourself to
Mhm.
be able to stay consistent because not being consistent is second guessing yourself,
Yeah.
right? So it's kind of like this weird thing. With that, I will say there's this crazy thing happening on TikTok and online.
Mhm.
And I think, like, politically speaking, and, all the things that are happening, I think the world is turning into more of like an anarchy place where it's like everyone's going rogue, And I think that part of the way, when you think about how to become viral, all of these
Mhm.
things, it requires a following, people viewing, people relating. We need to stop undermining the power of teamwork.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because in order for that video of mine that you probably found me through the Confidence Heist, in order for that to have gone viral and for us to be here, whatever,
Yeah.
that was teamwork.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I
100%.
mean?
Yeah.
So I also think that giving people chances and relating to people is so important in all forms of growth. Like
Mhm.
men are not the enemy, parents are not the enemy, like your kids are not the enemy,
Yeah.
teachers are not the enemy. Like we need to stop hating on the forces that be and
Mhm.
focus on how we can take those people and make them help us.
Yeah.
We need to put people to work.
I know, and it's
It's
kind of like
sales, it's
relating.
bartending.
It really is. It's like you are selling yourself to be approachable and seen and like recognized and like understood by like a lot of people.
Uh-huh.
Because really at the end of the day, like I watch a lot of social media strategy like videos on YouTube, and it's all about, they always say like the viewer's selfish,
Right.
Like it's all about what they get from you,
Mhm.
And I think like the second you figure that out with your own, like through your own funnel, your own POV,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I could just do that again and again,
100%.
So with social media, like how did that start for you? And like, do you have people in your life that do social media? Were you just like,
Yeah,
fuck
okay.
it?
So the Confidence Heist video definitely perpetuated this. It took me to a different place.
What happened with that?
So I got stopped on the street. I was pushing my daughter Meadow, and he
Mhm.
was like, "What makes you confident?" I didn't even stop walking, and I
Mhm.
just started talking to him.
Yes, okay, I know this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he was like, "What makes you confident?" And I said, "Being a single mom of two." And he was like, "What the fuck?" Because everybody's like a god and just like happiness. Like they're like saying all the mid shit, like normal
Mhm.
shit. And I pulled out with some tea. Like,
Yeah.
what makes me confident is being a single mom and fucking doing it.
Yeah.
Being good at it. Like, looking at my kids, being happy, blah, blah, blah. Like, it doesn't hold me back. It makes me stronger. I truly think no one can party harder than a mom who knows what's up.
Yeah.
Truly.
Or like work
Or
harder.
work harder.
Yeah.
Like, you're juggling. There's so many hats, you know, we can get into that tea, whatever. But the thesis of it was like, my weaknesses make me stronger, right? Or what people see as weakness. I think
Yeah.
I'm perfect, you know. So that started, and I started getting so many DMs of single moms, people working in nightlife, just people who wanted to grow up and be like me, which is wild, but like just all different walks of life, you know, reply guys even.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
people were just stoked. They're like, you need to start a TikTok.
Yeah.
You need to be posting.
So it was from that where you like saw the initial spark.
100%.
Yeah.
Because before that, I was like an underground girly. Like, you know if you know. But I knew a ton of
Yeah.
people. Everybody knew me. Like,
Yeah.
any state, any bar I go to, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Walking down the street, I'm getting high-fived. But it was a New York culture thing. It was a subculture thing. And it was like a family life for me. Now it's different. I can reach so many people. I can be a mother to more, which makes me happy. And at the core of my being and my essence, like, I'm a giver. So if I make someone feel good, I succeeded.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how this all started. And now it's a wild thing. You know, I jump on TikTok, I say some shit, and people are like, tea, or like, yeah, exactly, you know?
Yeah.
And it makes me feel good, and it makes me feel happy.
Mm.
Like, I'm not a bullshit peddling influencer. I'm
Yeah.
telling people who I am, what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it makes me happy because it makes me feel like really powerful in the
Yeah.
sense that I've gotten here, I've gotten myself here, and it's something to be really proud of that people care.
Yeah.
But also, I like when people take from me, which is sadistic, but I want, if I could post something online that says just, you know, be an impenetrable bitch, and people are like, exactly, if that makes them feel good and walk stronger that day, I'm crushing it.
I mean, honestly, like that's like the best thing to do. It's like you're just like, that's like what you're like made to do. You know what I mean? Like, because it's to you, you're just like, oh, impenetrable. What was it? Impenetrable bitch. And you're just like going to the deli. You know what I mean?
100%.
And you're like, boop, okay, say it. And then to someone else that like, that just like made my life. I am like going to go like quit my job tomorrow.
Exactly,
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. And that was the thing. Like, there was some, you know, people talking shit. They thought I was an internet bimbo. Good. I'm glad you see me like that. 100%. Like,
you're like, I don't care.
I'm 36. Like, you think I'm hot? Great. Like, hell yeah. You know, I don't care. But, you know, then I explained how I would deal with something like that. Like, get hotter. Don't show your cards. Be impenetrable. And like, that's not just advice for myself. I think, you know, as human beings, we could all be stronger. There's always work to be done. So why not like pass off the tricks of the trade?
Yeah. And it's like, I feel like, you know, no one's gonna, when you're on your shit, like, I'll get like woo here, like you're like shit that you're like made to do, like divine stuff or whatever, you know, it's like nobody can take that from you, you know, and like nobody, like I could go have 2 kids and start doing advice to mom, like, you know, in Manhattan, 2 kids in Manhattan, like, but it wouldn't be the same thing.
No,
you know what I mean?
Every single person is different.
Yeah.
Every single person's doing everything differently, and nobody will ever be the same. We can all like, I love this fit. Like, I'm gonna go on Adidas and probably buy these.
We have to find them because I own them from the thrift store. Yeah, on eBay.
Yeah, these are hot.
Yeah,
like, I rate them. I would wear them, but we're never gonna be the same girl.
Yeah,
like, even if we wore them in the same room together.
Yeah, it
like,
would
people
look
would be like,
different.
we're mad different.
I have a thing in my. Yeah.
So you know what I mean? And I think if people zoomed out and saw their worth, how they're seen to others, and what they can give to other people, as like a human race, we would all be stronger. Like, we have no enemies until we make them.
Yeah. I feel like we're starting to see like a lot of people be like, oh, maybe like we're all more of the same, you know, and like there's a lot of like stuff going on in the world, and it's kind of nice to like, let's say someone who doesn't even share like the same like ideology or whatever, but like they can relate to being like a mom or like
100%.
something, you know, they can like see you and then be like, you know, like okay, like, I relate to this. Like, I don't know. I think it's just has a lot more good than, like, no evil, obviously. But, it's people think social media is, like, such a, like,
construct and also a Bible.
yeah,
Construct and Bible and a lifestyle, and they think it's so real and it's so serious when
yeah. It's
half
really
the it's fucking satire,
yeah,
babe,
yeah,
and, like, if there's a limit or a boundary, I'm gonna poke it,
yeah,
like, just for fun.
yeah.
Like, what's gonna happen?
Mhm.
Come on, My
For
son
sure.
the other day, I was wearing, like when I go out, when I get dressed, I'm sure like you look hot as hell.
I try.
I'm sure, but
Yeah.
like, what's better than being like looking at hot as hell and feeling yourself?
Yeah, yeah.
Literally nothing.
No.
No man.
Yeah.
Right? So I was wearing this like this sick dress, like cutouts. I ordered it like on an Instagram ad because
Mhm.
that's where I shop. That's a fast shopping thing
Yeah,
these days
totally.
because my time is limited.
Yeah.
So it was like super sick, like it was giving hip bone really hot.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, Dash, like, mommy's going out. I'll see you tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. I came home probably 4 a.m., woke up at 8. We were doing waffles. It was Sunday. Like, I was not here for it, but I was
Mhm.
doing it, right?
Yeah.
And I took him to the park or something, I can't remember. And he was like, and we met up with one of my friends. And my friend was like, say, who's your favorite person? That's what he said. This is one of my
Aw.
best friends said this to my son. And he was like, Primo, because he calls him Primo. And he goes, Primo, it's my mom. And I was like shook and like almost in tears. And he was like, why is she your favorite person? And he goes, because she's the coolest. Like, the fuck?
That's really nice.
What's a better compliment?
Yeah.
And it was just like, it's those moments where I truly every day try to be myself to the core, and I
Mhm.
am actively, but what makes me feel like I've done the job and I'm being the best is when I can dress up like a hoe, kiss my son goodbye, go out, have the best night ever,
Mhm.
and then my son still rates me.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool,
Yeah.
No,
No, for
Like, he's
sure.
not judging a book by its cover. That's why it's wild to me that people judge the internet,
I know.
you know?
No, it's totally crazy. Let me, I'm doing that thing where I'm getting paranoid that, all right, we're all good. No, it's definitely like, I think kids kind of pick up on like that, even though, he's not like, damn, my mom's a hoe going out to the club. You know what I mean? But he's like, my mom loves how she looks and she's
Yeah.
happy. You know what I mean?
100%,
Like,
and you know what? He's gonna end up with a bad bitch.
of course, but
And
that's
what's
what
that
you want.
you
Yeah, you
know?
don't want him to be like, "Oh, I need to find, like, someone, like, completely not like my mother." You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Totally.
Like, it's kind of funny, and I think about this all the time, like, we said you gotta do some sort of job in service industry to be a real human being,
Yeah.
but also moms who have done nightlife, we're our own breed.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, nothing goes harder than that. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of my friends, one of my best friends, she's married to a really cool, musician. She worked in multiple hotels. She was also a bottle girl, and,
Mhm.
like, the life we lived, you can't compete. We've seen it all.
Yeah.
That's why, like, being a mom, it's not polarizing. My kids think they can fuck with me. I
Hell
did worse.
no.
Like that trend on TikTok where
Hell
people are like,
no.
my mom thinks she gets me, blah, blah, blah. Well, she wasn't like, doing cocaine off a body last night. And I'm like, my kids would do that. And then I would be like,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like,
like,
"Oh, that's cute." Uh,
oh, I'm glad you had that experience or whatever. So
no, for sure.
we're definitely made different.
Mm.
Like you as a mom is going to be hot.
I'm just gonna be chilling.
You're going to be chilling. As
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, because I feel like, the being able to, like, multitask, but, like, keep cool is, like, such a specific skill.
Yeah.
And it's like, I even find it with my day job. I'm like, okay, I even say, like, I'm at work, I'm like, I'm in the weeds, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because I just got promoted, so I had to, like, learn someone's job. And
Yeah.
I had 2 days to train. And I was like, I'm in the weeds right now. And everyone's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, never mind. I'm just stressed. I'm not even stressed, but I'm, like, in it, you
But those are
know?
the moments that teach us to be like resilient
Yeah.
and to not give up and to like work smarter, not
Yeah.
harder.
No, totally.
Like on the weekend, you're in the bar with the dancers.
Yeah.
You've seen some shit.
Oh my God. And it also,
Like, what's gonna shock you? Timmy hit Matthew? Like, fuck off.
no, and I'm just like, can you get out? Can you, like, take him out? You
Yeah,
know? I'm
get
like,
outta
ugh.
here.
I do feel like with bartending though, like as a
Yeah.
woman, like it has allowed me to go from like, haha, smiley, I'm your best friend to like, no. Like, in the most insane way, no, go fuck
Yeah, I
your
don't
like,
have time for it.
and
Get
it's
out of
like,
there.
because okay, my bar, I love the bar I work at.
Yeah.
I used to work Friday nights with the owner, and I was nicer than she was. This lady, one time, I fucking love her to death. Nobody was really tipping that well, and they weren't tipping the dancers, and it's a metal bar Friday night, blasting music. She turns off the music and she screams. Also, mind you, she's like this tall, so she bartends in platform demonias.
Yeah, that was
Like,
me.
and she literally goes, if you're not tipping the bartenders or the dancers, go drink a 40 on your stoop, and then
No.
like put it back on. And I was
That
like,
part.
oh, that was like one of my first like weeks working
But you
there.
go back to just like simple human nature.
Yeah.
Nothing is hotter than being told no.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
Totally.
that's what she was doing in that moment. And that's why you guys probably started making way more
Oh, it was like money.
love living in fear, low
Yeah.
key. Do you know what I mean? Not their own personal fear of themselves, but when people instill an emotion that makes them feel uncomfortable, like they're hard, you
Yeah.
know? Like they're ready and they will do whatever they can to either get out of it or feel more of it.
No, it is so funny because I'll talk to my boyfriend in the morning and like
Yeah.
he'll be like, oh, how was it? And I was like, well, I told this person they were disgusting because they put their trash on the bar.
And he was like, really? Here's a 20.
No, literally, like it's like crazy because it's just like the element of the bar because it's like girls. But
Yeah.
anyways, let's talk about fashion. What is like your like fashion icon and what do you like try to feel? Like, do you like close let me restate that. What is your fashion icon and like what's the feeling you're trying to have?
So I don't really go for trends. I'm not trend based. I go for things that I solely like. I will say, as trends happen, I will lean in just by seeing it by proxy. So I will wear trendy shit. But ultimately, I try to keep it classic. I try to keep it era-less. Truly, like the peak of my being and what I like is definitely like These Mistress.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's giving like heavy Versace runway.
I love that.
Terry Mugler. I mean, if we're talking resort, like maybe there's a Gucci vibe.
Okay, cute.
But I also like to go like full thirst, full trap. Like I wear cheap shit. Like I rate like IMGA all day. These pants are actually hers, theirs, whatever.
Yeah.
I also actively collect vintage.
Okay.
I have been forever. My archive goes crazy.
What era?
Ranges. It'll be
Yeah.
anything. Like I was wearing I guess it was I don't know, it was a Van Buren dress. I don't know what year, maybe 80s Van Buren that I had completely remade to the Magic Castle last week in LA. That was hot. What else? I would love 60s, 70s fashion, anything like boudoir-esque. Like I love feathers, marabou, anything that's giving Valium mom, I'm in for.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
What else? Growing up, I was definitely a goth as fuck. When I would bartend, I would be wearing like full latex, full fishnet, chokers, collars, that type. So I still lean heavy into that. I love a synthetic material, period, like plastic all day, which is ironic because I won't let my kids touch BPA anything. Yeah, I love snakeskin, leopard, texture layering, maximalism, things like that. But I like being sexy.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy looking hot, and I do it for myself. I'm not afraid of my body. I'm not afraid of wearing the thing, and when I show up, like, I want it to make an impact.
Yeah.
And it's not even, like, an ego thing. It's just, I wanna feel like I did it.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of going out if you're not gonna be seen?
No, for sure. I feel like there's always like, even if I'm like in sweats,
Yeah, it's
there's
gotta be
always
hot.
like, okay, like I want my hair to be brushed. I have like a little bit of makeup on or like jewelry at like the minimum, you know? Yeah.
It has to just be a little bit dialed,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And so that's it. I love lingerie. I wear a lot of Florida Mall. I'm wearing a bra right now from Jen. And I think like the bedroom aesthetic is definitely going out girl in the hottest way.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
corsets, bras, tops. I'm really into a bikini top for fall.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, fashion is everything.
Yeah.
The thing that gets me down about fashion is feeling like I don't have anything to wear.
Yeah. I know. I feel like that a lot in the winter where I'm like,
Yeah.
how do I look like hot or like like me, because in the summer I'm like, let me try to get like, I'll just wear like a tube bra, with like a low skirt, and I'm like, let's show it off. But like, I want that version in the winter, but I'm also like really sensory driven in my dressing. So like, I need to be warm and like no draft, you know what I mean?
Same.
So I'm like, how do I do this? I mean, I think a turtleneck's hot.
Yeah, my lazy girl hack is a turtleneck with like a dress over it, or a
Mhm.
turtleneck with skirt and like tights and like a Louboutin.
Yeah.
Like Louboutins to the end of time, the
Yeah.
slutty core piece.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if I was to give advice to anybody, it would be buy a Louboutin boot.
Yeah.
That red sole speaks.
Yeah.
Like it hits all
Yeah.
fall.
Yeah.
And I also love fur. Like
I do too.
fuck, I wear so much fur. Fall, winter is my fur. Yeah, and it's not even mob wife, it's just cunt.
Yeah, no, fair. I mean, do you have like a big fur collection?
I do. A lot of it's been passed down,
Yeah, same.
slash inherited. I only buy fur vintage.
Yeah, same. You know what's crazy is like I had my first viral video was talking about my mom's fur coat, and like it's so funny because like it's kind of sad because like her generation, it was like the big PETA paint throwing era, and like a lot of the people that were commenting were people that were my mom's age, and they're like, wait, can we wear our furs again? Like, because they were so scared to wear their furs because they didn't want it to get like destroyed. And it's like so funny because like my generation and like Gen X, they're like, if it's vintage, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, and that's,
I don't think Gen Z gives a fuck.
no, they don't give a fuck.
They don't give a fuck.
But
I do have some that I won't wear unless I'm walking with a big man. Like,
yeah,
for real.
yeah. I mean, it is kind of like, this is
you got to be ready tonight.
Yeah.
It's like, you're my shield.
Yeah. I know, it's really crazy.
Yeah.
Like how because I realized because I always just thought it was like $1,000 or whatever, and I was like, oh, this is actually like probably one of the most expensive things that I own,
It's so expensive. And also it's like the craftsmanship, the way that we have to take care of them. But also it's just so polarizing now to people that it's not an effortless, rich piece. It's not like carrying a Birkin.
Yeah.
It's something that like hits way harder.
Yeah.
Which I think is also hot.
No, it's great.
Yeah,
I
it's
want like a
great.
white one, like
I'm
with like the hair when it's fresh, like, I want that so bad. Or like white tan, like mixed in, like very like high collar. It could even be like a crop, but I just want something that like sits high up.
Yeah. One of my friends was telling me about his mom's white mink, and I was just like, fucking frothing.
You're like, I'll take it.
Yeah, like right now it's pretty dialed, but yeah, hot.
It's great.
Very hot.
Do you like handbags and stuff? Are you like a bag collector?
I do. I have my bags, but I also like to wear my bags. Like I'm not too precious. This is why I probably can't be an influencer. Like I beat shit.
Yeah.
So people will be able to tell when I actually like something or not.
Yeah.
Whether like it's beat or not.
Yeah.
But I've been collecting and buying bags. I think I spent my tooth fairy money on a Louis Vuitton Pochette back in 1999.
I love that.
So I've always been here for it. There should be polarizing at first polarizing. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, love bags. The one thing that I've been off on is shoes. I think that market's oversaturated.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Like what's the
shoes? I mean, honestly, like I am so in like such a different spot because of like budget. So I'm like pretty much a really big like thrift person.
Yeah,
so like, or like eBay, but like the thing about buying like secondhand shoes is they fall apart,
Yeah, the glue wears.
I mean, these are from DSW and they're just simple, but I still had to pay to get the little tip redone because it broke in like 3 days. I really like Mista.
Oh yeah, Mista's hot.
I like really, because I went into their store and I actually like put on the shoes and touched them and I was like, okay, this is like worth like the $400, So I was like, oh, I really like that brand, and I feel like they're kind of becoming like really popular.
I feel like a little bitch spending $1,200 on a pair of shoes.
I know.
That's ridiculous, especially in the city where we're actually wearing them and they're
I know.
Get out of here.
It has to be something that like is durable and like comfortable. I'm like very
100%.
comfort. Like I'm like sexy comfort, Like, and then I can't do like, because I'm most likely if I'm going somewhere, I'm like taking the train then taking a car back. So it's like it has to be like walkable, at least for the first half of the night, you know?
100%.
Yeah.
Also in the second half, you might not feel it, but like,
Yeah.
it has to be walkable, period.
Yes.
You know, and I don't know, lately I've been really into Stuart Weitzman.
Really?
Yeah, I wait for the sale, and like I think those are the shoes that I grab the most.
Yeah.
Like I buy every style in black,
Mhm.
you know, every height in black. And those are like kind of core shoes to me. They're
Yeah.
really comfortable, they're really well made. This point is not as insane,
Yeah.
and they don't get played out. And
Yeah.
I like that.
No, I mean, I think there's something good in like something being like a basic, but it's good quality, and you can like have those shoes. You can just like use them and use them and use them, you know?
100%.
And I think that takes like kind of actually like knowing your style like very well to be able to invest and like in basics that work. Because it's like you can't
100%.
buy a bunch of basics if you don't know what's actually. I did a version of that, but with like naturalizer. But they actually have cute shit now.
Yeah,
They like
yeah.
rebranded, and I was like, I'm a naturalizer. Like, I'll be a naturalizer influencer. Like, okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I also think Skechers is back,
Okay.
and I'm really into Skechers. I bought my kids a bunch.
That's
I've been like
cute.
rocking the slip-ons like they're going out of style.
Okay, yeah, fair. Yeah. Those
and
are cute. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm also really into like what Uggs is doing lately,
Okay.
which I think is a little wild for me as somebody who's like, you know what I am? I'm super basic. I am fucking basic. I am basic. Like a classic Chanel bag and wear a black turtleneck
I
and
mean,
a
but that's like
skirt.
classic.
But
So maybe you're classic.
I think it's my aura
Uh-huh.
that makes it subversive.
Yes.
Like, and I think that goes back to what you're saying is you have to know yourself to know your core pieces.
Yeah.
Like I buy and wear really basic designer shit, but
Mhm.
on me, it's
Yeah.
cunty.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
for
Like,
sure.
but it is.
Yeah. No, because I'm thinking about like, okay, if I were to wear like a turtleneck with like boots, like it would look totally different from how you do it, but it would still
100%.
have like an element, you know, and like
100%.
we'd have that like vibe, and it would look like cool girl. It's weird, like because it's just I don't know, like it's like a style thing. I don't really know if it's like just a personal. It must be like just a person to person thing.
I think it's affectationally driven, right? So
Yeah.
it's like how you are seen wearing that thing. Like
Mhm.
it's totally an image, it's totally a vibe,
Yeah.
it's totally aura based.
Yeah.
Because think about it, at the end of the day, you want your clothes, you want to look like you're wearing your clothes. You don't want to look like a victim.
I know. I hate
You
that.
know?
I was in line. A quick digress. I was in
Yeah.
line at fucking oh my god, why am I forgetting the name of it? This big store in New York, and it was like this one guy came in wearing all of like this one designer, and I was just like, you just look like you are rich, like you can afford it. Like it doesn't look like you actually have style.
And also
you
looking
know?
rich is not hot.
Yeah.
Coolest billionaires I've been with,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't, they look normal.
Like in sweats or something.
Literally
Yeah.
mad normal, like jeans and like a white t-shirt.
Also,
And
to like events, if someone's like kind of overly dressed,
Yeah.
you're kind of like, oh, they're like, yeah,
yeah,
it's definitely New Yorkers can smell that shit.
they can fucking smell it.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not
I'm calling
cool.
myself a New Yorker because I've been here for 10 years.
Yeah, you're a New Yorker, babe. Yeah, I've been here.
I like to troll people with that
almost-
one.
I did an LA hiatus,
That's very New York though.
which is also, yeah, and I also grew up in South Florida.
Where?
I'm from Boca Raton, Florida.
Oh my God, I lived in Tallahassee, and my
Oh.
parents live in Cedar Key.
The real ones have spent time in Florida.
Yeah.
But like Florida pre Art Basel takeover.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like now you're like, I live in Miami. Like
It's
you
different.
don't get it, babe.
Yeah.
Like you don't remember the hot dog ladies on the side of the highway.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I know. When it was, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I remember that.
The news that people talk about on Instagram about Floridians being crazy, like that's not happening now. That was a TBT.
Like internet, like early internet days, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny, Florida.
Yeah, Florida's
Yeah.
best.
You have to be real to have lived in Florida and worked in the service industry.
Yeah, and then add mom to that.
Okay, so we're gonna be like unfazed when we have kids.
Yeah, like what are they gonna do?
I know. I'm like, they cannot trick me for shit.
Wait. I have some tea.
Yeah.
So during COVID, me and my 3 best friends basically all took turns kind of doing something for the community because our kids could really only play with each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
And basically, my contribution to the group was
Mhm.
teaching all the moms how to make cocktails and having a
Okay.
cocktail party.
Nice.
We would take off our masks, go in the house, and I would teach them how to make all these classic cocktails. Every week was a different cocktail. We would test it, perfect it. I would tell them about the alcohol, what was going into it.
Mm.
And like being a bartender, that's hot girl shit. Like
Mhm.
knowing how to make a proper drink, whether your boyfriend, your man, your girl is sober or not, it's
Mhm.
still hot.
Yeah.
Like it hits in any environment. And
Yeah.
it's such a good party trick.
Yeah.
Would do this, right? And we were talking about, I forget the news story, but there was an incident where this guy killed his girlfriend and
Mhm.
his parents tried to hide the body,
Okay.
whatever. And so I was like, interesting. Like, this is good banter for the bar, right?
Yeah.
So we go around and everybody had to answer the question, like,
Mhm.
would you help your kids hide a body?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like the first girl was like, "Oh my God, never." And I'm like, "You're gonna like your kid go to jail? Like what are you talking
Yeah.
about?" And my other friend was like, "Absolutely not. Like I hid the body."
Yeah.
And my other friend was like, "Hid it last week." And I was like, "I killed him."
They were trying to cover for me.
Yeah, they were trying to cover for me. Like, what are you talking about?
It is good bar
Like,
banter.
that's good bar banter. Wait, I don't even know how we got there.
You're teaching your friends how to, because it's hot. I mean, if you can just,
I know, because we were talking about how we would have such a thick skin, parenting won't phase you.
oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
did you hide the body last week or did you murder them yourself? Like, what's the vibe? Like, what kind of mom are you?
Yeah, yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Literally, like, you gotta, I mean, I'm sure, like, when you're a mom, you're kind of around more people than you, like, normally would be. So it's
Yeah.
definitely, like,
And the dynamics are wild. I was talking to a friend of mine last night and I'm like, parenting is so mid because nobody knows what they're doing,
yeah,
and then you're like out there and like some moms like gentle parenting and you're like,
yeah, yeah,
this is New York. Are you trying to get your kid hit by a car?
yeah,
And
yeah,
then, you're with another parent who's like basically almost hitting their kid and you're like, what?
yeah.
There's no way to gauge your friendship based on the style of parenting. So you
Mhm.
just have to be like, are we in it or are we?
Yeah, like, are you similar to what I'm
Yeah.
doing for sure? How do you feel? You're
I'm just
killing it.
hanging.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe, you know?
Yeah. Line.
No, sure. And plus you're in New York, so it's easy.
Yeah.
So we can kind of start to wrap because,
Yeah.
but basically, like, okay, so you have your social media going. What is like, what's like the future for you, like in terms of social media, the bar, like, what do you see? Like, what do you want?
Want to keep making an impact and making people feel really good. And I think if I was like to drive one lesson, it's like you don't need to pigeonhole yourself to be a good person. Like,
Yeah.
be whatever you want to be.
Mhm.
Whatever core values you have will resonate. So I would like to keep doing this. This podcast was fun. Maybe I'll do more of these.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Also like I just want to keep dressing good and feeling good.
Hmm.
I want to be a good mom. And I think I'm at the point in my life where, again, I've been through some shit. I just want to like keep riding the wave
Yeah.
and kind of seeing what happens and being
Hmm.
opened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. I kind of love that because it's like you're just like at this like open space, which I think is like the best.
And also like my true focus is on my kids, and I want to make sure that they're better than me.
Yeah.
So that's like my first focus.
Yeah. I mean, that's like the biggest impact,
Yeah.
is like
Yeah.
raising.
Putting good kids out there.
Yeah.
Hot.
I know for sure. I'm sure you like see some kids and you're like, what the
Yeah, like
and then they go to the bar and then be shitty to the bartender.
shitty to the fucking bartender. And it's like, you were not raised right. I know your mom did not work in service industry.
Yeah.
You fucking brat.
No, literally,
Yeah.
for sure.
There should be like some sort of identification that proves that you were related to service industry or worked in.
I know. I mean, I think we all just kind of
Right at
know.
that.
We're just like, yeah, okay, you're real for sure.
Yeah. How about you?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, first off, I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to like seeing what like all this stuff goes to. Like 2026, I want to kind of like really ramp it in like a lot more. I have like this whole other thing I do. It's like fashion networking. And so we just had our event during New York Fashion Week, which was like really big. I want to do more like events in
Love
general
that.
because I think that's kind of like a big lack in the fashion industry is kind of like making things like accessible, but in a way that's like community building, you know? I hate to like it feels so cringe to say it in fashion, but like felt cringe like 2 years ago to say fashion networking. So, you know, and now it's like the thing. So I was like, okay, fuck it. We'll just be cringe. So basically, yeah, I'm just trying to like, this is all like a very like covert way of me like trying to like meet people and make friends and like be in the industry and like make a name for myself, you know? So like that's kind of like the goal in all this is to just like meet like a lot of interesting people and like share stories and share inspiration, because that's where the podcast came from.
I mean, I think you're in the best place to do that. We should do an event together.
Of course.
It would be cool. And I just had a friend of mine reach out who is in fashion, who is a great, two of them, DJ. We could do like a really
yes, of course.
hot thing. But that's the greatest part about being in New York is collaborating.
Yeah. No, I think that's like the main way to like, it's like sustainable, but it's also like mutually beneficial. And it's like, it's so nice to like meet, like what I said when I was in fashion school, like, yes, I was great at design. I could sew like a motherfucker. I could pattern perfectly. But like, I was like, I want to be the bitch that knows everybody. That was like, for some reason, that was like the thing that I like knew what I was going to do, because I just wanted to be able to connect everybody. And it's like, this is kind of in a weird way, like how all that's coming together.
Literally nothing more powerful.
Yeah. No, and that's like, I think why I've felt so like out of place for so long, because I was in the music scene for years. I knew everybody.
100%.
I was in the bartending scene for years. I could get a job at any bar, you know, like it was like, it was easy, you know, and then it was like, nobody knows you. Nobody gives a fuck. It's the most competitive industry.
You have to stay in it to like feel the energy of like truly being known and all these things. And it's a hustle.
Yeah.
You know, it's a grind, but
no, it
is further than just being good at shit.
No, it really, because that's the shit is showing up.
That's the thing. Trust, loyalty, respect. You know?
Well, Charlie loves you.
I love Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie's coming home with me, actually. Like, I didn't bring a big enough bag. It's okay.
Well, thank you so much for being on this.
Of course.
Yeah. It was so nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. This is hot.
Yeah.
I can't wait to listen back myself.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Yeah. I'll send you all the content and like everything, and then, you know, we're like cut now. Let me just take a peek at all this. But I have an editor and I have like a multi-perspective like view, so